Well, welcome to today's episode of AI Bridges. We've got a really exciting guest from New Zealand, Konrad Matthies, and he's got a background of being a CTO in business intelligence. So for those of you just joining the podcast, get Strativa AI help businesses scale their revenue over 12 months using AI. So if you want to learn how to take your business to the next level, make sure to stick around for future episodes. And if you're interested in a free growth session, please feel free to DM me in the comments below. So Konrad, again, welcome. And could you please introduce yourself, tell us about yourself, your role at your current company, and just how you got started in your field.
Cool. Thanks, Mark. It's really great to have a chat with you about AI. I think this is the most exciting topic that at the moment everybody from us is just really pushing us. And you already I think very short introduced myself. So I'm Konrad. Yes, I have some German roots. I'm living since a good year in New Zealand. I absolutely enjoy it here. Still at the moment, it's winter, but it's sunny, so it's nice. My role is, like you mentioned, I'm the CTO and CEO of AstroAnalytics. We are doing visual analytics, business intelligence for the cloud. So we are designed to work on all the modern cloud data warehouses like Snowflake, Databricks, Google BigQuery, ClickHouse, and co, like all the big brands. And yes, we also really elaborate to use AI in all different areas of our product, and also for us as a company, because we see this as one of the biggest success criteria for everybody from us in the next years to maybe even survive in the market. Let's see, it is even that guy getting that hard. Just as a short side anecdote is I'm also running with a friend here, a CTO, networking, and we are now already starting to measure how long does it take before the meeting is flipping into AI.
And what do you mean by that?
1 month ago. Yeah, it means so for example, we're sitting all together on a lunch table and we just have really great conversations about current topics. And then we just always write down the minute when the first person is switching to AI, and then the whole group is just having a big discussion about it, pros and cons, what works, whatever. And it's usually after 15 minutes. So we can talk about 15 minutes something else, and then it just get in. So I think just how important is it?
Yeah.
Topic. I think for everyone.
Indeed. And so when you speak about your company, how big is it? How many team members do you have? And what does that look like?
Yeah. So we are currently 25 people around the world. So we are remote first. And we just had recently a quite nice funding round. So we are just back now with $5 million USD in March this year,
Congrats.
April this year. Yeah. And we are at the moment heavily growing, mostly customer base is US, because they already have all the data in the cloud. But also the rest of the world is now really kicking up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fantastic. And so what would you say some of the most common misconceptions are that businesses have in regards to integrating AI into their growth strategies?
Really good question. I think the most important thing is at the moment, nobody has that perfect recipe. Everybody thinks, or they push in LinkedIn, they have a perfect recipe. Just DM me and you get the perfect recipe for marketing and the perfect recipe, whatever. But what I see is everybody needs to really find out for themselves how that tool works. It is like you're going to a person that was living in the rainforest and have never seen a hammer or even a screwdriver, and you're giving it that.
That's a good
and
analogy.
They just need to learn how to use it. And they maybe use it for something totally stupid, but still it makes sense or it works for them. But it's even not for that it was designed. And this is for me really the thing. This is a massive new tool that we all get in our hands. And this is wonderful. But the most important thing is need to take also the time to play with it and really play and try it out, because this is how humans learn. If you look how kids learn, they learn with playing. And I think this is the most important thing in the beginning. Play with the tools and don't try to instantly try to find the bad things. I think this is the thing that I currently hate on LinkedIn, for example. ChatGPT 5 was around and everybody complained, yeah, but it doesn't do this one perfect. It doesn't. But I say but is it really the thing? Do I also give a person a wonderful new screwdriver and then and the person say yeah, but I cannot really open a bottle with it? Is it designed for?
Yeah.
So also find out where it is designed for. And I think this is something that we heavily do. Still, the complexity is the permanent change. So for example, a year ago, coding with AI was
Mm.
not good at all. 6 months okay, it was okay-ish. Nowadays, it's already really good.
Yeah. No
Maybe a
code
year's
and
time, it
even
will be
just
unbelievable.
vibe coding. It's a whole new thing.
Yeah, it's a whole new thing, but we all need to learn where it works and where it
Sure.
doesn't work. So we have some parts of our product there that works really, really great, the coding. We have some parts there it doesn't work. So we need to first, and this is like that kind of, you cannot just like from top down go into a company and say like, every developer needs to use AI.
Right.
Then we would maybe have some parts and some developers, they would even be slower if they
Right.
use AI. We have our ones that are really faster. And I think this is a thing where what I mean with that kind of playing, not that kind of just doing like leisure time. No, it's like playing, but trying things out. And trying means also like, it is fine that you're failing, but then you just try
Yeah.
something else out. And not that kind of, oh, I fail, I cannot use it.
And so how do you do that when you're working, say, at the beginning of a project with either a new client or maybe they've been a client for a while and you're putting something in place with them, for them, alongside them? Like, how do you align that playing in the space of AI in your own company and aligning that then to like playing with the interaction of your client? Does that make sense?
I think here it is, we need to a little bit differentiate in our company because Astrad itself is a product company. So each client for us, so we have a SaaS product that we roll out. So new clients are just new clients somehow. Yeah. So they maybe want to have a new feature, but it is not really a new client interaction itself. And in that kind of part, we just mostly constantly try new models out. So for example, if a new model arrives, we try it out. Does it work better? Does it not work better? And we just measurely internally just usual KPIs that you measure in development so that you see how much PRs you're getting done, how fast they are reviewed, and all the kind of standard software measures that you do. And then we measure it. And then we see, does it help or does it don't help? And if it helps, wonderful, go further. If it doesn't help, search something else. So this is something I think that the client itself doesn't directly see. What the client just
It's like
sees
you have your
is
own
that
dashboard
we
for that.
really heavily have improved have our velocity to getting features out in the last 6 months. You can really see it. Yes, this is something that is not, say, like, it's not 10x. And this is also very, very important. It is not a 10x topic. Even if people tell, oh, that's 10x, no, it's not. At the moment, it's a good 25%. But imagine you have, for example, a team of 10 developers, and you have 25% mean, it means like you have already a team of 12 and a half developers. And I still have my same runway because compared to a developer, the AI costs literally nothing. Yes, it costs also, for example, the $200 for a nice Anthropics Max Abo costs something, but compared what a full stack developer costs you, this is literally nothing. And I think the boost here is amazing. I'm expecting we will even get further in boost over time. We learn better what we need to do. We even partly will change our code base so that AI can better work with it, but this is more long-term thing. And the models get better. I think on all three paths, you have permanent optimization, and this will just like really push it forward. One part of our product. Another part of our company is like, what do you do in sales? What do you do in marketing? Is it not very often that people don't tell, but it's like you try things out? Because if you do something new in marketing, you need to measure it. What is my reaction? And it's somehow, yes, you don't name it, that you play with it, but still it is something, you try something out, something works, something you fail, you change. And this is something that we do. What we just see there is, especially in marketing, we are much, much more productive in getting things faster done. Nice videos. So we also like now producing, so some of our people producing videos, we have a much faster to writing text. We don't use AI, and I think this also big mistakes. If you go to AI and say like, tell me just the story about whatever. No, this doesn't work. You need to give it really nice context.
Indeed.
But before it's a texter back and forth, yeah, but please correct this one, please correct this one, make it more this one. The time gap or like what you usually had is just like reduced to nearly zero because I just read the feedback. Okay, no, please change it more on this time. Okay, yeah, but you got this one wrong. This is compared to work with a normal marketer texter, it is so much faster. No
and so
question.
how do you do that balance of kind of like what the human work and interaction is alongside the speed and depth that AI is giving you?
This is a difficult topic because I think this is also something I think we don't have the perfect recipe at the moment for it. Because on one side is the things with AI get very fast in the way that they look all the same. So that it get that kind of feeling, it's just like it's not really real. Yeah. That kind of what is real. Yeah. And there's something that you need to then invest more time into. And they need to also go deeper and do that. Or if you just sometimes need to just produce just mass. So for some things, also in marketing, it is just important to have just like it everywhere and a lot of things. Then we are much faster. Yeah, so I think this at the moment, for me, at least from my position, hard to answer because I'm also not really driving that department because I just see more what they do, but I don't really work in that
Okay.
area fully.
And so do you feel like there could be additional means of support in those areas for you to help utilize things to the best efficiency?
You mean like external support, like that people say like, okay, I support you in better using it, or what do you mean there?
Just like as you're scaling the AI solutions around things, right? Do you feel like there's additional resources or support that maybe are missing that could help you achieve the level of automation on things that you're looking for?
What I think what is at the moment for me mostly missing is that we need to have deeper integrations across tools. So each tool it own have a nice AI service. So our ticket system have an AI service, and then Slack has it, and in Google Workspace we have it, and all the different tools. Still, what I miss is that kind of more overall agent. I think we are now going in the direction. Still, we need to see how much it can really handle that large context that it's then getting. I'd just also like to have a real world example that we currently work on. We're really working on to get all our support communication really together because of that reason. Because like then we get all the information together, and then in support AI assistant can really proper answer. At the moment, our support AI assistant mostly works on our support tickets and our help documentation. But we also have a lot of customers there. We have direct Slack connects that are wonderful. So we just love it. But still, that is currently missing in the conversation. So there is a lot of knowledge in there that can
So
be
are
just
you looking
used.
to, I'm
So
sorry, are you looking to
I think like we
like,
just need to get the things
sorry,
together.
what's that?
So I think like you really need to get the things
Right.
together much more so that they are not data silos, that we're just more
And
together.
so are you working on something that's more of an agentic model that takes from all of the different areas and then puts it into that same space? Is that something that you're working on internally?
So we are at the moment not working on an agentic model. We are at the moment searching more for different tools that just does it. So I believe or like from our perspective, how we set about our company, we just try to do only the thing that is our IP. And to find that out, yes, we can do that. But I think there are also companies outside that just currently do that. And I think for me, it's much better to find the right tool that just does it for us. Then we integrate it down. So I'm more that way. I just like to pay another subscription, and then it's fully maintained for me, and not that I build a lot of knowledge around for things that we don't really need for ourselves, because our product is our visualization platform and our business intelligence platform. This is our IP, and there we have the most knowledge, and we just try to focus and prioritize everything just
I
on that.
see. And I know that in Europe, they just came kind of down with some new regulations and so forth about making people aware that AI has been used on this service or what have you. So what strategies are you putting in place to make sure that, your services are in compliance with all of the evolving regulations while you're putting the AI in place and your BI in place?
So in our product itself, we have since the beginning a very strong policy that customers can always turn things on and off. So they have full control if they want to have any kind of AI capabilities. And that is not only a Europe issue.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So for example, we have in the US a lot of HIPAA compliance people. So that means everything that is healthcare, and healthcare data is very good and very sensitive handled in the US. And so right from the beginning, we allowed them to totally turn everything off. Now we have the whole chance to bring your own model so that the people can fully support their own topics and can handle it. And I think this is something that even will now get further with the MCP server client idea, that we get a really that kind of interoperable idea between handling things. Just like recently there was a big, or there is still a big bugs in MCP server. They can even get into systems. And I think this also it is very new. It just needs some time to stabilize, to get more mature. And then we find our ways. What we also think is very interesting, what, for example, Snowflake, Databricks are doing, and also Google now, that you can run your AI together with your data. So that even the data is even not leaving the real data warehouse, the data lake or whatever, it just get directly calculated, used,
Massaged.
there it is, and then only the result. Yeah, and I think these are the absolutely right direction that we see, especially in the data space. And itself, like in our product, we just try to give the customer the whole flexibility what they need for their local requirements.
And so, what have you done to automate within your own business so far? And what tools or platforms have been helpful in growing that side of things?
So we just use like in every kind of thing. I think I've also seen it with you with Zoom. For example, Fathom is for me a really good example. So we just have it nearly every kind of meeting. It is just perfect to get the transcript. It's perfect to get the bullet points. This is so helpful. It saves, like after every meeting, it was a long time to write everything down, to put the next things together and make that. And now it's just like
Right.
done. Yeah. So these are all that little things, but still they save a lot of time, and also they save usually also time for things that people don't like to do.
Yeah, 100%.
The next thing is, yeah. The next thing is we already, I think, partly spoke about it. The whole thing that happens around development, and I think development is like the first real killer feature from AI. What I just see here is, and this is something I'm worried a little bit like about the big companies that currently grow so fast. They can grow, and 5 minutes
Right.
later they can be gone. For example, we started with GitHub Copilot, okay, when we had our first really usage path with Cursor AI and the models. It was working nicely. But now our developers switched in 15 minutes from Cursor to Anthropic. So they just say like, okay, this is much better. So they just go away. So even if Cursor maybe had like that growth, it can be that somebody else is getting, and then they're just instantly dead, because the travel cost, the switching costs between the tools for the developer is so easy. So we are using at the moment Anthropic, but maybe in half a year's time, we have already used 2 different tools, or we use another tool in 1 year's time. This is something that the developers absolutely don't care. They say like, if it is better, just switch. What's the issue? So this is for me something that is very interesting to see. And I think this is also not easy to be in the kind of really growing companies, AI grow companies. It's cool to be there, to have that fast growth, but you don't have that stickiness. So the advantage is, for example, with dashboarding, with reporting, with all the things, if companies have hundreds of dashboards, even if there's a better tool, they will not switch in one day.
Yeah.
It is like
Yeah.
this.
Interesting. Oh, wow. And can you share maybe a case where your AI implementation has led to some unexpected challenges or setbacks? And then what are some key takeaways of lessons learned?
I say like where I definitely really see it as a key takeaway is they're in development, because this is also like my main area that I'm driving it. And this is around that we maybe even will change our code base to be more AI ready. And what I mean here is development teams also like to build a little bit their own perfect architecture. But the issue on that own perfect architecture is it is just unique to us. So the AI doesn't know it. So we have a lot of, for example, now in Angular, a lot of Astrato decorators that are very special. They're cool. They do fancy stuff, but they're not common. So the AI cannot know them. And the moment it has massive issues to learn it and to properly use it. And as more as I'm just in the standard and just use the simple standard out there, it just works perfectly. And I think this is a big thing that will change. And I also like coming back to my discussion that I just had like on my networking, CTO networking event, was like, my prediction is that refactor costs will heavily go down. And one
I'm
of the
sorry,
big
what will go
arguments
down?
in software engineering is all day to refactor code base. Usually the argument is like, we need to first design it perfect, because if it is perfect design, then we never need to change it, because usually to change things in a big project is heavy. It's a massive work, and people hate to refactor code for weeks or months. What we have seen is we just did a real big refactor with AI. This is something that AI is amazing good and
Super
fast
fast to
and also
adapt.
very reliable. Yeah. So you can tell them, this was my old structure, there's a new structure, apply for the rest,
Right.
and just go for it. So it means also like that I'm pushing at the moment my developers much more to say like, hey, we just go that path. Because even if we need to switch that path in 6 months' time, it doesn't
Sure.
cost us anything. We just write a proper prompt, say like, do it, go through all the tests. I know that I'm a little bit at the moment over-promising, but still I say like, it is already really good. And in 6 months' time, it will be even much better. And I think this will really have a big impact how we design and how we do things. And we will start much more lightweight with more prototypes, small tools, and then they will just grow.
Interesting. Okay.
And I think this is also what we see now with the new trends with Laughable and all that new trends, that you can just extremely fast build your own web app that is doing, like I said, convert some data from here to here. This is just like really on the finger.
Yeah, things are moving exponentially fast for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And so how are you building up your staff to adapt to that? Are you building them up just internally, encouraging them to adapt, or are you expanding, your company size so to be able to take on more work?
Our plan is, or like my personal thing is, the chance to be an 50 or 100 employee unicorn is much higher now than years ago. And at the moment, we permanently at the moment scale our output, our velocity in development, but also in marketing, whatever, and just without any kind of new employees. So we just take care that we have more agents. And I think this is the thing. You need to also learn that your agents are somehow like employees that work for you. So you need to give clear instructions. You need to balance them out. You need to have multiple in parallel. I think my thinking is like in some years' time, maybe 2 years' time, every of our current employee is just and manager of roughly 6 agents.
Yeah, no, I've heard that before.
This,
maybe not 6 exactly, but yeah,
and
that model. Yeah.
Yeah, but just have model, and I give you that kind of feedback here, and that's something that I also get from my developers already back. This is usually if a manager lead people, you say like for every person that you're leading, in average, it costs you 10% of your working time.
Yeah.
And this is the same with AI agents. AI agents are a fast employee, but still they need to have guidance. They need to get feedback. You need to go with you need to check the results. You need to get feedback and so on. This is the same thing what you need to do. And if you have, so there's a reason, if you say like very simple in management rules, it's like if you have 10 employees, it means like 100% of your working time is just dedicated to them. And there's a reason that I usually say like, for me, a good span is that one manager lead between 6, maximum 8 people, because then you still have capacity. So like what you do, like your real productivity. Yes, I think in a startup, everybody is working more than 100%. So still be honest, there is some gap, but still I think this is needed. And there's a reason I think this is a quite good span. And the other thing is, also what I'm getting now from my developers as feedback is, it is hard to have 10 agents running in parallel, because you always need to think, okay, what he was doing. Okay, he was doing this one. Because we have switching costs in our brain. Our brain cannot just switch like a task scheduler, like a processor, just like with milliseconds back and forth. People think that they can do it, but we really have costs on it. And this is what you then see is if you have too many things, you make mistakes because you disorder things and so on. This will maybe change in the future if we have AI agents that lead AI agents. Let's see. Be honestly, I have no idea. This is just pure guessing. Like looking in my class, thinking, okay, what comes on that? Yeah, it is like it is. But I still think this will even come up, because in the end, this then will help that I guide that one, and then they get the results, check them, feedback, and then we get this one. So like for me, it's just exciting time. It's just because every month something new happens.
And so when you were talking about the delivering results and, tracking the AI and making sure, that you're kind of managing them, what would you say are some of the key metrics that you're looking at to make sure that they're on track or that they're going to the area that you want them to be going to?
For me, mostly regular metrics
Mm-hmm.
that we already have. It's not specially AI metrics. So for example, marketing, we just have our usual go-to-market key metrics that we see, like how many leads we are getting, how like marketing leads we are generating, how we real leads like then for sales are generated, like all that kind of metrics. So I treat it personally, like with employees that are like report to you, direct reports. I treat it a little bit in the same way. And the same thing is for me for software metrics. So we look for the same things like how many tests are failing, how much rework we have in code, how much features we get delivered. It's somehow the same because the business metric in the end is the same. Because from outside perspective, maybe an investor looking differently. For an investor, it is maybe also interesting to see what is your AI like percentage, how much you already do with AI. But itself at the moment from the market outside, the customer does not care how much I do with AI. They just look how much features I get,
Yeah,
what is the growth,
exactly.
what is the and this is real. And the current metrics that we already have in our companies, they come from the business, and these are mostly the right metrics.
Mm-hmm. And have you put into place an AI tool to pull all of that so that it is on a dashboard easily for you? Or are you doing some sort of manual search and then putting it together in like a report form?
This is something we still do sometimes manually.
And like, how often do you do that? How often do you utilize the results so that you're affecting
So, for example,
change?
like our I said like our software development metrics we are reviewing monthly, but I have an automated tool for it, so that is just going through GitHub, through the code changes and other things, and just does it for me. I said like that's something I like to buy. I just like to buy something that is just
Yeah,
does
I
it
hear
for
you
me. Yeah,
there.
begin there. It is costing me a lot of time to set that up.
Yeah.
Still, yes, it's then, and we don't pay it, whatever. But it's like how much can I achieve with real good ideas, with forward thinking, with visionary things compared to just setting stupid processes. I wouldn't stupid, but simple processes up. For go-to-market, we do it weekly, but we also did it before weekly. So we just have our weekly things where we just like push it together. Still, I think like here, the majority issues or the biggest issue is that you have too many different tools and too many different data connectivities. And yes, we could automate it, but I think this automation at the moment would not save us really time. It would be a nice to
Hmm.
have project, but at the moment, if somebody just takes 10 minutes just to get the LinkedIn metrics, the YouTube metrics, the web metrics together,
You're good with that.
I'm fully
Yeah.
good with that. So I don't really see a reason to invest
Yeah.
time into
Yeah.
that one.
Where do you see maybe an area that's like your next challenge that you're looking to overcome in your business? Could be anything, could be operations, could be marketing, of course, top line growth, could be internal, customer relationship stuff. Like what's the next big obstacle that you're looking to overcome?
At the moment for us, it is really scaling the sales around the world and partners. This is something they already introduced also like an AI. So we providing, for example, with ChatGPT quite nicely an agent for our partners, and we feed them with all the information that they need, so they can just go in and before reaching out to one of us and saying, yeah, I have here that customer and they are using a Power BI and they have a new POC or a proof interest POI, and we just want to now go with your tool. And this is the customer. Can you just give me a good fact sheet, how you compete and whatever? Before, it was just very manual task. And this is something that we at the moment really nicely scale out with AI. Still, usage is a topic. So you need to get people also to get used to because they also like to interact with a
Hmm.
human being. It's just nice, like with you. Yeah, it's just much more nicely. Yeah, you could also be an AI robot that just give me the question.
My digital
But be
twin.
honestly, I think it is, yeah, maybe. So I'm not sure. In the future, we also need to have that passport and just go back
Right.
down.
My head does a 360. It's real me.
But even they will do the 360. I think it's just a matter of time. But still, I think humans like
Yeah.
humans interaction. And this
Yeah.
is like it is.
Right. Right. And so what are you doing then to get that scale happening worldwide?
What I think mostly we do is there that the people see the advantage. So that an AI just answers 24 hours. And we have a topic. You have a partner in Chile, you have a partner in US, you have a partner in Australia, you have a partner somewhere else. And to do this one, I think also like to always sell the advantages to show them, hey, if you use this one, you have a massive advantage. You also have the history and all the things. The second thing is, yes, I think like if you're a startup like us, usually always have that go to market and the sales topic. Yes, you have a clear go to market, how you do it, but still our topic is ARR growth, ARR growth, ARR growth. And it will be the same topic for the next 5 years. And even then, it's just further. So it's just a different like level where you then start, but still in the kind of scaling phase where we are, just growth overall is our constant challenge. If you're in that growth phases, and this is for every company, the thing's changing. In the beginning, you just only need to find just some unhappy customers, very niche. You don't need to have a lot because to get to 500,000 ARR, it is not too much of customers. Yeah. But if you want to then go to 5 million, to 10 million, to 20 million, to 200 million, yeah, it always changes because like you have a different kind of scale. And so this is something I'm looking very positive forward to you because we are like a proven team that already had also like another exit. So we have already different growth states.
Easy to share that
So the
success.
maturity in the team is really good. And also the people know that times change. A lot of people, if they do it the first time, as the difficulty is they tend to do the thing the same because they were successful the last year or the last 2 years. You're in a different growth state, so you need to do something differently. And then some people say like, yeah, but I hate it now because I liked the company before. But I said like, yeah, but this is the whole thing around growth. And the good thing is we are all like that. So we know the journey, it belongs to us. And so it's cool.
It does. Yeah, indeed. And so looking ahead, what sort of AI trends do you think are going to have the most significant impact on your business's growth, say over the next, normally I'd say 5 years, but I'm going to go 3 because everything seems to be compressing.
I think like it's even further compressing. So come on, in AI, for me, it's even half a year, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, just be honestly, I think the most important, and I just will turn a little bit like I said, like I think the most biggest advice that I give to everybody is change your company that you're as flexible as possible, that you can really react on it. This is the only thing how we do that. Because I think so like I was far away from feeling that we have this time, like or even 2 years ago, a really cool AI experience. Yeah. And I was not expecting to have now even already a good working, I don't say perfect, but I say like a good working coding experience. And be honestly, to predict if it just takes another 6 months, if it just takes another year, I just don't know. And what we need to do is, and this is what we will do is, we will just react. So as soon as something arrives, we just check it, we see, and then we just change. You need to be very, very flexible. And I think this is the most important success criteria. And if you do that, there's no issue because you just adapt. And I think the most important thing is adaptation speed will be a much faster key success criteria for any kind of
Indeed.
business.
Yeah, I mean, the more that they can react to things because it's inevitable, right? And so there's like that 10-15% of people that really just want to stick their feet and, not move at all. And then there's the people that are embracing it wholeheartedly. And then there's that middle section. And that's going to be it's going to be the people in there that make those decisions to kind of ride the wave more, right? They don't have to be on the forefront and they don't have to be sticks in the mud, but, embracing it is where they won't get left behind. And so I feel like it's really important, the interaction with AI and, how humans are working, right? And how they're adapting and the roles that they're doing in it. And so how do you foresee the collaboration of the across the board with AI changing, where 5 years ago there was no collaboration with the AI, right? But like, what do you think that for each individual, forget about the sticks in the mud, but for everyone else, right? Like,
Yeah.
What do you think that the collab space is going to be between human and AI?
I think AI will be massive takeover. Yes, there are things that an AI at the moment cannot do. So this is all the things that you really need to like usually make your hands dirty in the kind of real world explanation. Like if you go to your garden and you just really do gardening, or if you go to physiotherapists and he's doing it, maybe also we will have in some years a robot that is doing it. If people still like it, I think this is a different thing. So maybe even people will definitely pay a massive uplift to still get a human because you want to have
Hmm.
that human interaction, even if that AI is maybe even, or that robot is maybe even better, but still, do you want to have a physiotherapist that is just a robot, or do you just also like to have and has a human there? So I think but I think in all like creative thinking world, there we are, like with startups, with developing products, with marketing, with all the things, I think it will be a massive ratio. Still, the question here is how much even then AI can scale on AI. Let's see. I have no idea. I think we will all figure it out, and I think we will all see it. Still, the other thing is, and I think this is then the topic, is how much energy we can produce in the end on the because
Yeah.
resources is in the end the limitation factor. This is what we already see on human life. Yeah, but also energy is one of the important things. Where do you see nations that are heavily developed? They usually have a lot of energy resources. Yeah. Or they can buy it because they have something else and they can exchange for resources. But this is what you usually need. And the same thing will happen with AI. AI needs
Yeah.
freaking a lot of energy. Yes, it will get. The good thing is you have that IT trend with Moore's law and all the things, so they also will save more and more money, like energy. But still, I think this is really the limitation. I even believe this is maybe even the more limitation factor than really having AI to roll out in more companies.
The energy. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
energy,
I
yeah.
mean, it's said that
And this is what you
the
see now.
solving the energy equation will just totally change the game 100% because once we have that solved, then we can address everything from every challenge that's out there, right? From climate change to health to food production, like everything totally changes when energy is not an issue anymore. And who knows, maybe we go to what Tesla discovered long ago and and then we've been kept from or just what,
This is
but
something.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is something that maybe also AI can heavily help us, but I think this is even more the limitation for like if we don't solve the energy topic, I think the limitation factor on usage of AI will be not the development and the speed and the coolness of AI. I think it will be mostly the topic of the
Powering it.
energy that is not available, the power. And but still, I think this is something I'm very positive about because if you look back in human life and even like for thousands of years, humans always found a way. So for me, this is just like the only thing that always is true. Yeah. Humans found a way to
We
overcome that
adapt.
issue. Maybe took, yeah, and they adapt. Yeah. And this is the thing. I think this is one of our real big success factors. And this is going back to the company, the adaptation, to be fast in adapting to things. I think this is the most important thing that everybody need to learn or need to change so that they are better. The rest,
So
it's
what
quite
would
hard.
you advise
If you
those
stick
who
just
are
to the other part,
hesitant to adapt? What would you advise them? Yeah.
start simple. This is the same thing. It's like if you, and for me, I always describe it to my kids a little bit. It's not the right thing, but I describe it in an energy. I say like your brain is a muscle. If you don't use them, it get lazy. And the same thing is like if you try to do 100 push-ups and you're not able to do 10, you don't start with 20, training 20. You start to train with 2, then you do, for example, 2 days later 4. And the same thing is here. If you're not used to change, your brain muscle is not used to. But the advantage on our brain is even you can learn if you're 80 or 90 years old without any issue. Yes, you need to start slow and you need to push it in and do a little bit more and do a little bit more and do a little bit more. But you can learn that. And this is what you see with people who had like a massive heart attack or a brain attack or whatever. If they work on it, they're able to recover a lot of
Right.
their
And literally get
abilities. So
rewired.
it means our brain, yeah, so they
Yeah.
really rewire. And you need to start with that process. And you would also not do it the same like with muscles. If you would train at the moment at the beginning too hard, then you just have a lot of hurt and you say like it's painful, you get issues. And the same thing there. Start slowly and
Yeah.
then improve.
Yeah, indeed. Fantastic. Well, Konrad, we're about to wrap things up here. Is there anything else that you'd like to add or
I know I would say like we I think we already like covered a lot of different areas. And even outside of AI, I think technology Yeah. And I think that, and I can always say, like, thanks for the invitation. I think it was a really, really great chat with you. Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. It was a pleasure having you, Konrad. Yeah. So, as you're looking to expand and scale globally more, how can people find you? We'll certainly drop it in the show notes, but what's a website and/or an email to reach out to you directly for people?
Yeah, I'm more than happy. So it is quite simple. Our website is astrata.io. I think the most easiest way, just find me on LinkedIn, Konrad Matthies, search for, and just drop me a message there. Follow me. I think that's the most easiest way to communicate with me. And yes, I open sometimes my email client because we have some email conversation that is not otherwise possible, but this is not my medium anymore. This is like not what I prefer. So there's a reason. Just LinkedIn
Adapting.
is perfect.
Time's changing.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thanks again, Konrad. I really appreciate your time. This has been a great episode, and I look forward to speaking with you again.
Yeah, thanks. Have a nice day.